confirming what had been speculated by some last week. Hamilton police say the death of a man and a woman in an Ottawa Street apartment last Thursday was indeed a murder-suicide. Eric Vieno joins us live in studio with more on this. Eric.
Matt, police say the 77-year-old woman was found on her bed, stabbed to death, while the 51-year-old man was found to have died by suicide. Detectives say the man lived in the unit next to hers, but they were not known to each other.
The victims have been identified as Barbara Church, a 77-year-old resident, and Derek Emmons, a 51-year-old Hamilton man.
Last Thursday, Hamilton police were called to 112 Ottawa Street North because neighbors were concerned that an occupant in one of the units hadn't been seen for several days and wasn't answering their door. Firefighters had to force their way inside the unit because the front door and the back door were barricaded from the inside.
They were tied and with furniture blocking them.
Church and Emmons were both found dead in the unit. A knife with blood was recovered inside.
Following autopsies, the police have determined Barbara Church's death to be a homicide and Derek Emmons' death to be a suicide.
Police say Emmons had been living in a unit next to Church for about a month with another man, but they say there's no indication that Church and Emmons were known to each other.
I can tell you that they were not in a romantic relationship. They were not known to each other. I can't really answer to if they interacted with each other in the month that he resided there across the hall from Mrs. Church, but I do know that Mrs. Church knew the other tenant in the apartment too.
Police say that other tenant, Emmons' roommate, is also dead.
He went missing on August 3rd. Homicide unit has been aware of that. There was an autopsy conducted on the weekend with regards to that male. And after the autopsy, it's been determined that he had no injuries inflicted upon him by anybody else. And right now, that is cause of death is pending toxicology. So we do not believe at this time it's suspicious or related.
Detectives say Emmons' family has been made aware of his death. However, police have not been able to find Church's next of kin. A neighbor who lives across the street says she would see Church walking in the neighborhood often.
She was an elderly woman that was so friendly. She would walk down the street whenever she could. She sometimes needed some assistance. So ultimately, she's just a wonderful little neighbor. We would see her, we as in any of the neighbors would see her at Tim Hortons with our little stops over there, just walking down the street. Just a beautiful little soul, to be honest. It's sad.
Police continue to investigate.
It's really hard to find a motive with no information with regards to a prior relationship or any type of tension between the two. It's really hard to find the motive, but I'm hoping through the review of the digital evidence we'll be able to find something and be able to give the victims an idea, the victim's family, if we find them, an idea of why this happened.
Police could not comment on exactly how Emmons killed himself. They do not believe there are any additional suspects related to this incident.